a very warm welcome to today's Get Hired, Stay Hired. This is a show for executive and senior leaders who are job seeking and want the edge in their job seek search. Is that right? Job seeking search? I think so. But also beyond. So we don't just look at helping you get the job of your dreams. We also look at what you can do once you've got the job to make sure you keep it as long as you want to, and pretty much anything in between. So we're all about mindset and marketing. We do not look at creating CVs, although we have some ideas on that, and we might be touching on that today actually. But this is about how you show up before, during and after the interview process to make sure that you have more control over your future success. My name is Sarah Farmer. I'm an executive coach, and I work with senior leaders and leadership teams, helping them develop the right mindset and the skills so they can do what I describe as leading brightly. And I'm joined by the fabulous Vanessa Ashworth. Welcome back. Who's going to tell you what she does.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Get Hired, Stay Hired. So I'm Vanessa Ashworth, and I am a CMO. Marketing is my thing. Marketing communications. Oh gosh, I can't speak either.
Yeah, well, it's Monday.
It's a week. It's
back in.
But I'm all about being visible, being credible, and being memorable. So obviously, normally I do that for brands, but obviously in your job search, you need to do it for you. During your job search, and then when you get hired, it's remaining visible, it's remaining credible and memorable so that you keep that role once you're in. So welcome to the show. Please get busy in the comments. Tell us who you are and where you are and what role you are looking for. Maybe this can help, or maybe somebody else joining us today can help you because they'll know someone, and we know networking is really important. So tell us what you're looking for, and then we're all about accountability here as well. So tell us where you're up to. What did you say you were going to do last week, and have you stuck to that? And what are you going to do this week?
Yeah, and what are your successes? What are your blocks? What questions do you have for us? We're very open to answering pretty much anything if we can. And if we can't, we will take it to an expert that can. And last week we had the fabulous Tom Wood on, who was talking about the use of AI in helping people find jobs, but also helping recruiters recruit more effectively. So if you didn't see that, it was a fantastic show. We missed you, Lee, but it was a fantastic show. Anyway. So yeah, definitely check back in with that. And if you want to look at any of the shows that we've done before, they're all on our events on our LinkedIn pages. So whilst we're waiting for people to say hello and where they are and all that lovely stuff, what have you been up to the last week? Because you have had a very productive week, have you not?
I have. It's been fantastic. So after months of being kind of very quiet,
like tumbleweed
months, suddenly there was quite a flurry on the roles to apply for on LinkedIn and other boards that were relevant to me.
Yeah.
And last week and the week before, I am in quite a few processes now, and so some really exciting and productive kind of first stage interviews and calls.
Excellent.
So yeah, I'm kind of
good
weekend celebrating, definitely kind of really great conversations and connections.
That's brilliant. And because we talked a few episodes ago about going for just scattergunning, going for anything. We're getting desperate, nothing's out there. And I think you will admit that you went for a few things that weren't right, not because you were desperate, but just because you're like, well, let's just try and see what happens. So what do you think has changed in everything we've been talking about over the last few weeks that has led to this? I know the market might have changed a little bit, but what have you done?
So I think like anything, the titles of roles and the expectations of roles can be quite dubious, and marketing, it might be the same as everywhere else, but you're expected to do everything, including brush up and make the tea. And so sometimes it's difficult to know at what level a role really is because the expectations are huge. And I did apply for a few kind of head of type or manager type roles where normally I'm CMO, director, VP level. So I've lent into only going for roles that really do sound And I think the success has, and it's important to say actually that the roles that I've had the conversations about, they have been advertised roles. So it's not through my network. So,
Okay.
you know, LinkedIn roles do exist. Although
Yeah.
one was on a different job board and one was on LinkedIn. I can't remember the other, but so applying for jobs still works. So that's really good.
Yeah, that's good to know. And I mean, I'm not looking for a job, but I've noticed a massive flurry over the last couple of weeks with things that would be suitable for someone.
Yeah,
with
yeah,
my skill set.
definitely. A couple of weeks ago, definitely there was a real flurry of new roles, and I think that quite wisely is companies wanting to get their houses in order before we get into the new year, and so that then, you know, if you start in December, you're hitting the ground running in January, aren't you? You can get everything moving. You can spend December getting to know people, getting to understand the systems, doing all the induction videos and whatever else, and then, you know, it's nice then to have a few days off over Christmas to decompress, to kind of align your thoughts and get
cracking.
And then cracking, kind of hit the ground running in January. And that's, you know, fingers crossed, touch wood, that's exactly kind of where I want to be.
That's the plan.
That's the plan.
So the first thing is you've got real clarity on what I'm going for. You've stepped into that, you know, real belief about yourself. This is what I can do. This is what I've been brilliant at. And you've done another couple of things as well. One of them was around, I mean, your mindset actually has always been pretty good. You've always believed, but you did kind of go off track a bit and start looking at things that weren't quite right.
Yeah.
And we've kind of pulled you back in again. But the other bit was around the LinkedIn profile as well.
So it's actually getting my CV sorted. I think if that's what you kind of
sorry, the CV. And I thought you'd updated your LinkedIn as well. You'd removed, or was it two things you'd done then?
Yeah, I think I probably did update the CV, did my LinkedIn profile as well, and sharpen that up. But I sharpened my CV up, and I think that's really helped, because so what I've done is I've got my name at the top, and then I've got my value proposition right next to it, and the role, and then obviously contact details. And then before, I had then kind of 3 short paragraphs, putting the meat behind that value proposition, what that meant, what my skills and experience and what I bring. And I thought that was really, really good. But I had a free 15-minute CV review with Anil Birdi. So look him up. So that's Anil, Aneal Birdi, Birdi, I think. And he gave me a few really good pointers about my CV. And it was just 15 minutes. So it wasn't the whole thing. It was just that first kind of top part of the page.
Yeah.
And he said, you know, he skimmed through my CV and he said, my God, Vanessa, you've got some really great experience. And he really helped me believe in myself again, which, you know, again, just mindset, get back up.
Yeah.
But he said, put those results at the top to prove, rather than talk about what you can do, show that you've done it.
Yeah.
And right at the top, put those proof statements, the results that you've delivered at the top. So that means that when somebody first looks at my CV, the first kind of 6 lines, it's all there, what I'm going to bring to you.
I've done that. And if you think about what we're trying to do very quickly, when there's maybe 50, 60, 70, how many CVs I've got to look at, is we want to build trust and hit with impact immediately within the first few seconds. I love this.
Yeah.
Can you, I just want to say quickly hello to Malcolm. Hi, Malcolm. Happy birthday to you. I won't do the whole thing. And last week was good. 3 recruiters contacted me about it.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah, that's really good. So let us know what comes of that. What was I going to ask you? So for people that don't know what a value proposition is, because you say it and I'm like, yeah, have I got one? And what is a value proposition? And I don't know if you can share yours, what's at the top of your CV, if that's helpful, but
if I could remember it. So the value proposition I'm going for at the moment is I make brands stronger and selling easier. So that's what I do.
Love that.
Because if you've got a strong brand, I don't need to go into that. But yeah, I make brands stronger and selling easier, which is what real marketing communications is.
It's brilliant. It's just, that's exactly what you do.
Yeah.
So have we all got one of those? Have if you're looking, irrespective of whether you're a marketer or not, what do you do to help them?
Yeah, so that's it. So value proposition is basically what value do you bring? So what is the company, your hiring company, going to get from you? So
Yeah.
make selling easier, make you, and so, and if it was going to be a bit longer, mine doesn't go into that. But it's why you. What do you do differently that no one else does? So, because that's the thing, isn't it? Especially when hiring a person. Nobody else can compete with you for being you, and you are the superpower that you can offer because no one else can be you.
So, but is that bit about being you, the results, is that where the results come in? Because no one can have your results, or is there something else that you're adding in?
Yeah, so I think, but I suppose for a brand, and that's how you do it, you differentiate your brand from others by saying the value it delivers to the customer and why it's different.
Yeah.
If you can do that for you, then brilliant. It's adding your own personality into it. I mean, mine isn't. It's just making brands stronger and selling easier. That's it. And it just says,
well, that's what somebody would want with a CMO or marketing director is exactly that. So if you get into the mindset of what the person, who your ideal client or a future employer is, and use that, then I think for me, if I was reading the CV, what would differentiate you? Because everyone's going to say, well, hopefully everyone's going to say, especially in marketing, they're going to say something like that.
Well, the thing is, there are lots of different types of marketing and marketing needs.
Okay.
I'm very much brand led. There are other marketers who are very much performance led and ad led. That's not me. We do it all, but I'm very much brand led, and therefore I've not shied away from saying that because I would be the wrong fit for somebody wanting
something else. I get you. So it does. Yeah, it does differentiate you. What I'd love is if you're out there listening to this, I know you are, Malcolm. Haha. What's your value proposition? Think about it. You've got a director of marketing here who can assess it for you. I look like I've just been taken up to heaven.
Oh, you're beautiful.
Just trying to block that out of it. What is your value proposition? So say yours again. Sorry, just whatever, roughly.
Making brands stronger and selling easier.
Making brands stronger and selling easier. So what would yours be in the role that you do? Making so that is better. What is it? And if you struggle with that, I'm sure Vanessa will have a cup of tea with you and help you because she's lovely. Let's give away your services for free. But it is really helpful. So if you are out there listening to this, what would your value prop be? Have you got what you've done, what you've achieved at the top of your CV? Are you comfortable doing that? Because I know for a lot of people, I think, oh, that looks really show-offish, which is then when we get to the mindset thing is if you don't believe in the value that you add or that you have added, or you can't articulate it, you're probably not going to get the job. If you can't do it on a CV, you're probably not going to be able to do it, person to person either. So that's definitely something to think about. Yeah. Right, I'm going to drive. I'm driving. All right.
I'll hands off then.
I'm driving today. Hi, Samantha. So for CVs and LinkedIn, there's a great exec job search group on School, Kick-Ass Job Squad. I like it. Rebecca Pay helps with the stage before the focus of this group, CVs and LinkedIn. There are some brilliant resources. Brilliant. Thank you for sharing that. Great. We know a little bit, but you really need an expert on this. Good. So it'll be interesting to see what Rebecca is saying about the value proposition and stuff like that. I think, to be fair, somebody with a marketing director's hat on is probably going to get this right and can give some pretty strong advice over it, but always good to hear other people's point of view. You had a question, didn't you, that you were saying, an anonymous one?
An anonymous one, yeah. So this person asked, if the market is going to die down in the lead up to Christmas, if it does die down, what can we do? What practical steps can we do?
All right, I'm just going to answer this question quickly before we answer that question. So hello, Christina. Thank you so much for joining us today. It is a live session, so the chats aren't private. They're all on LinkedIn. What we always say is, it's great to meet you too, is that if you have any questions you want to ask anonymously, like the one that's just come in, If you send it to us beforehand, you can send it to us on, if you've got a question for us today, you can send it straight onto my LinkedIn, direct message me, and I will go and have a look in a second to see if it's there. Or for future, just send them beforehand and we will answer them.
Yep.
So sorry, but back to your, the question was, what can you do? What?
The market is going to die down before Christmas. What practical steps can we take? What can we do about that?
Right. Now, we both have thunks on this, don't we? So my first thunk is this, is what do you believe about that? Because as soon as the thought is, oh my God, it's going into scarcity mode, panic. I've got to try harder, do more, go for different jobs. I'll just forget that I'm a CMO or a director of this or whatever, and I'll go for that. So first thing I would say is just calm down. Don't let fear take over, because there will still be jobs out there for you. If you believe you are brilliant, which you are, and you can articulate your brilliance, you will find your job, right? There is no doubt about it. You will find your job. However, the people that I see fall at the first hurdle is when something like this comes out and they go, oh, panic mode. And as soon as we're in panic mode, our brain becomes muddy and we just cannot perform either writing a CV or updating on LinkedIn or commenting on LinkedIn posts. Anything suddenly becomes way too important. Your brain's in a threat state, and when we're in a threat state, we can't operate as effectively as we could. So the first thing is breathe. Breathe, okay? There will still be jobs out there. There are still all the other things that you can do, and Vanessa's going to touch on those as well. But just be careful. What am I thinking? How's it making me feel? And what do I believe about myself for those two things to be true? And if what you're thinking is, oh God, it's all gone to pot, I'm not going to get employed for another 9 years, and you're feeling anxious, and you're believing that the value add isn't valuable enough, guess what? That will be your truth. Your brain can only listen to one truth at a time. So I know it's not easy when there's pressure and you need money to come in, especially coming up to Christmas. But trust me on this. If you can breathe, just do some, deep relaxation breathing, and then start to think the things and feel the things and believe the things that you need to stand out and shine, you are going to be better off than if you let your brain run away with you. What about the practicalities?
Well, so you've talked about the job seeker's mindset, but let's think about the hiring manager's mindset at this time of year. They're in Q4 and they've either got to get things out of the door and get things delivered to reach target now in the next month, or they're looking at kind of the financial end of year that might be in April. Either way, we're kind of at the end of that year point, and we're at this very close to the start of 2026 and the targets that are going to be set for then. So think about that person's mindset. That person might be in a scarcity mindset. That person might be thinking, oh my God, how am I we're not going to reach target this year. How can I get in shape for next year?
Yeah.
How can you help that? So yeah, you've got to be in abundance, but I think it's a really good time of year to keep being visible, proving your credibility and being memorable so that people know you're available and that you can help them reach those targets next year. And if they get you in now, you can get, as we were saying, get in now, get that kind of first legwork done.
Yeah.
So then you're all guns blazing in 2026 and you can support these companies to achieve those targets, because I think we have seen there has been a reticence and there's been a slowdown in hiring for lots of different reasons. And one of them has been kind of confidence in the economy. But when you get to this stage and you start seeing, well, actually, I'm not going to reach targets if I don't invest and if I don't take action. So it might all, let's think in abundance, it might all come back now where companies realize they need to take action if they want the growth that the shareholders are expecting.
And you're right, about now they're going, I've tried not to spend, we've not recruited, we've held back, we haven't really made a decision. I mean, part of me thinks this is a great time.
It should be. It should be.
To go around all of the organizations that you would like to work for, not with the negative mindset of have you failed? Do you need somebody? But how's it looking for 2026? this is how I can help you, and go in with that, because you just might find 1 in 10 or 1 in 20 of those are going, oh my God, I'm looking for you.
Yeah.
So being visible, directly emailing organizations that you're interested in, commenting on LinkedIn on people's posts that you're of interest to or you're interested in. All this visibility piece is so important. Then if people are, as you say, getting to the end of the year going, oh crikey, we really need these people in, and we're not there at the top of their list, they're going to go for somebody else. So I just want to pop to these. Mariam, hi, thanks for joining us. Great perspective of the session. Want to explain both of you. Thank you very much indeed. And Malcolm is saying most recruiters are receiving hundreds of applications. I believe we still need to look at what jobs will suit us and make it obvious to the recruiter that you are the right fit. Yeah. Yes, now this is true. Now remember, this brings me back to something Tom said last week, which is most recruiters they're not actually getting hundreds of applications. What they're getting is a lot of people just doing quick apply, whatever it's called.
Easy apply.
Yeah, and they're getting filtered out. But also there's a mindset behind this. I absolutely agree with what Malcolm's saying, by the way, is make sure you're really clear about what you want. But for those of you who are thinking, well, don't bother applying because hundreds have applied already, most of those will get removed out of the application process because they're just not right. They're just going click, 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 click. Making sure your CV or your covering letter stands out more is important. But also remember that you as a job seeker are also looking for more than one job. You're not just looking for a job. So this was about, he really reset my mindset on, oh, it's not fair. They should just be looking for us. Well, we're not just looking for them. We might be interviewing with 5 or 10 people at a time. So I just wanted to remind people of that from last week, because it can become an unhealthy mindset if we think, well, what's the point? It's not fair. I'm not saying that's what you're saying, Malcolm, by the way, but it just triggered my mind.
Well, he's absolutely right. We absolutely still need to have confidence in what you deliver and apply for the job that is right for you. And do not be dissuaded by hundreds of applications that it might look like. Some of them will be easier. Loads of them won't be a right fit at all. Maybe 80% or 90% won't be a fit at all, either because they're in the wrong location or they're just not suited for the job.
Yeah.
So don't be dissuaded by that. If you are the right fit, then you will stand out.
Yeah, there's a lot of people just clicking because they're getting desperate. Don't be that person. Do exactly what Malcolm's saying. Started many jobs in November, December. Yeah, and it must be for that reason. So yeah, now is the time. What if November and December are the best time?
So because I was looking through my CV the other day, because somebody asked me, when do you normally start jobs? And it seems to be March and December I've got.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, but December has come up a few times. Yeah, that's
okay.
So yeah, it's all to play for.
All to play for at the moment. Right. So are there any other questions? Anyone got any blocks? I'm just going to go in and check my DMs to see if one of those came in and make sure I don't miss that. So what have you got planned for this week then? Obviously, it's quite easy to, when you start getting into the process of having some success, you can start to take your foot off the gas a bit, can't you? What are your recommendations?
So I'm going to still keep on reviewing those job boards. I'm going to carry on being visible. I am going to think about my posts on LinkedIn this week and about kind of where we are at the time of year and what that means and how it might be good to get me on board sooner rather than later. And that's going to be kind of my content, probably. I'm going to spend some time. I mean, obviously, I did lots of preparation and revision for these roles. So I'm going to kind of keep reviewing that and maybe do a bit more research into these companies so that it's not all last minute when I do get the invitation.
Well done.
So just keeping on top of things, really.
Yeah. And is there anything that you would recommend people do? So I'm just thinking about what else can we do when we've got the initial yeses and we've had the first interview. What do you do straight after that to stand out?
Oh, I see. So I'm in the process. So how do I stand out in between time?
Yeah.
So don't forget and just go kind of skipping into the sunset that you've had a really great interview. Do remember to write and say thank you and
Yeah.
say, you know, put a few notes together on, did you enjoy the meeting? I mean, I had a couple on Friday, but one in particular, I came off feeling really energized from our
Did you?
conversation. It was
Yeah.
such a great conversation with
Yeah.
these two ladies, and it just got on really well, and it was brilliant. And so I wrote after, I said I felt really energized by our conversation, and I think I could do some really great work with you, and I look forward to hearing from you, and have a great weekend.
Yeah.
So don't just kind of skip off and celebrate and open the champagne. Do write and tell people it was nice to meet them.
I've got an idea. I mean, it's pretty much along those lines, but I mean, a lot of people will remember to write something, which is good, especially at this level. It just shows politeness, doesn't it? Thank you. Really enjoyed the meeting. Really enjoyed the meeting rather than the interview. This is what I felt. This is what came across from you. So it's like, what was the purpose of it? What did we do, very high level, and where did we get to?
Yeah.
So for me, it felt like it was worth proceeding or something along those lines. And for you, I'm just wondering if we haven't got that confirmation yet, what are the next steps or whatever it is, but some sort of capture, because what we've got to remember is that they'll be interviewing maybe 5 people that week, or maybe less, maybe more. But whatever it is, they're not going to remember everything that was brilliant. So if you can remember everything that was brilliant, and if you've got AI recordings, which I always have on all of my meetings, that's really helpful, because you can ask your ChatGPT, others are available, to pull out where the key interest was from the interviewer. And what to focus in on. So AI can be really helpful for that. And I know somebody who's using that to also assess how good their interview was, how good the interviewer was, and again, what are the key things to pull out? Was there anything I missed? Now, obviously, your AI tool of choice needs to know you pretty well by this point. You can't just suddenly go to ChatGPT and expect it to be brilliant. So if you've already inputted and used it and it understands you and everything else, and your CV is on it and everything, then that's really helpful. Have you tried that yet?
No, I haven't.
It might be worth a play. It's quite interesting, and you come off it going, oh, ChatGPT or Claude or whoever we're using is going, I did a great job. It's 86% brilliant, and it's quite a nice bit of feedback. All right.
Ooh, okay.
You'll know whether you were 86% or not, but I mean, so give it a whirl and see. So Malcolm, this week I'll mainly be job hunting, although I've been asked to lay another wooden floor. Okay, I'm also waiting on roles where I've already had contact with recruiters, thanks to the Fast Show. The Fast Show?
Ooh.
Oh, what's the Fast Show? Tell us. Don't know what that is, but it sounds wonderful. I want one. Sounds good. Good stuff. Yeah, I mean, wooden floors are great, but you got to, I mean, it's just weighing up, trying to do a bit of both, isn't it? You only have to do a little bit every day, really, don't you? And you could fit that in around your wooden floor.
It is really important to kind of take yourself away from the screen, doesn't it? So maybe a bit of meditative floor playing is a good idea. It's getting out for a long walk with the dog.
Right.
Whatever it is, you do need breaks from the job hunting.
And I was just discussing this with somebody on my upcoming podcast about the best way to have good ideas and to think clearly. And neither of us could sit at our desk and just go, right, let's think. Just can't do it. And if you're doing something that involves you're thinking about something else, it's amazing how all these thoughts come to you. Maybe if you're thinking about what we said earlier about the value proposition, maybe you're struggling with that. Malcolm, go lay some flooring, and maybe it'll come to you. Or walk the dogs, do some gardening, something like trying to sit and get cross with yourself, trying to figure something out is pointless. Move away. Move away from the desk and have a think about it. Right. if we have no other questions or no other comments, then we're going to love you and leave you.
What do you think? Do you think, because you did think during the week, should we look at, once you get the role, I'm already thinking ahead, you see, once you get the role, how do you keep it? And so when I was thinking about this the other day, I was thinking, okay, where have I been maybe derailed before? Thinking about that, and visible, credible, memorable. And of course,
when you've got the job,
when you've got the job, and it, so for me, it's all about communication, isn't it? It's about having regular checkups with that hiring manager all the time. And you going in with that job description that you've applied for and all the notes from your interviews and what you've said you're going to deliver. You've got your kind of 30, 60 day, 90 plan almost, but then it's sticking to that, because what happens when you join a new company, especially as a marketing manager, everyone wants you in their meeting. Everyone across the organization gets very excited about the new shiny thing, wants you to be involved in their projects. And then you can't possibly do everything. And so I think it's visibility and communication with that hiring manager to say, look, I'm being pulled in different directions. What do you want me to focus on? I want to deliver this, but I can't do all of these things. So, and just keeping that alignment with the process, priorities and things like that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, it's really important to remember that people that we're watching this would have just started new roles. They might be thinking about looking for new roles, or they might have been in situ for quite a while and feel like they've lost control of their role, and that's a horrible feeling. And often the loss of that control starts much earlier on than when we realize it, and it's usually because there isn't enough clarity around what's expected of us. And we haven't had the confidence and the courage to say, let's be realistic right from the get-go. So, and also we go in as the shiny new thing, all excited, and think, oh yeah, that sounds fun. We've got to then take it all in, haven't we? That's what the first 30 days is for, right? Though it's to receive all the information, feel all the excitement, see where the issues are, understand the problems, build trust, build credibility, communicate in a way that can be heard, and then to go away and then say, look, this is what you wanted me to do. This is what I'm being asked to do. And with my knowledge as a senior leader, this is what I recommend. And this is how it's going to look for the next few months, and get agreement on that. Don't assume that people will know what you're doing, or people will know that you've made some changes in the goals that you've been set on. And like, make sure the communication is absolutely spot on. And if you're listening to this and you are in a role and you feel like you've lost control, and you've been maybe there 6, 12 months and maybe 18 months, and actually the onboard failure rates are actually measured from 0 to 18 months. So it can happen when you've been in there quite a while. Is take stock of what is actually going wrong. Figure out where the problem is first, because otherwise we can start trying to put band-aids over wounds, gaping wounds. Figure out where the issues are, and don't be afraid to confidently say we have a problem. Because if you feel there's a problem and you're not saying it, the others that are there, that are responsible for you, will know it. And you will start behaving in ways that are not conducive to effect. So you're effectively creating leading to your own demise anyway. I know it's hard to do that, but
it is hard to do that, isn't it? It's hard to kind of, because you don't want to highlight problems if your hiring manager doesn't, or you think they might not perceive them yet. But I think that is very emotionally intelligent. I think that's absolutely the right thing to do. I think it's to stop, pause, recognize there's some kind of mismatch, have a good look at what it is. Don't then go to your manager and say, we have this problem, and lay it out. I think as a manager myself, when somebody comes to me with a problem, I also want them to propose a solution.
Oh, completely. Yeah.
And not expect me to kind of find the answer for them. So
what about, can I just ask you though, what about if I was reporting into you and I came to you and said, look, I haven't thought through what the solution is to this yet, but I want to share that I know that there's an issue here.
Yeah.
And I want you to know that I'm thinking about it, because even that itself, it doesn't put it on you to go, oh, you want me to sort it out. I think that shows a level of confidence, but it also, if I'm worried about the person, my employee, and they have the confidence to say, I see what you're seeing and I'm dealing with it, something changes immediately. It gives the leader hope, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think quite often, and I saw this in my last team, people think they have to do everything themselves. And usually there's a team. And so when someone in my team has been struggling with something or have felt kind of overwhelmed, I'm always really quick to remind them there's a team. Let's get some people into a room together and flesh it out between yourselves. You know, think of it as a project. Get other people on board.
Yeah.
Share some ideas. See where they can help you. Delegate some of your responsibility. Because I think all too much, we think we have to do everything. And one person can't do everything. So, and if there is a team there around you, then you need to lean into the team and get people on board.
And you've got to do that. We've got to have that psychological safety that the leader needs to create from the top down, and everyone with that leader needs to help co-create it as well. Yeah. So it comes down to this confidence, having the right level of confidence to say, I don't know it all. And, we look at the numbers of senior leaders and leaders moving into senior leadership roles and exec roles. The numbers of them with imposter syndrome or low levels of self-belief is rife. I mean, you're looking at some reports say 80%, which is no surprise when you think about the amount of responsibility you've suddenly got at that high level. But if you allow that responsibility to consume you and stop you being authentic and leading brightly, as I describe it, then you are going to have problems, and that will then leak out to your team, who will then clam up, won't tell you, won't ask for help, and then you're all in trouble.
Yeah.
So it's pointless, absolutely pointless, isn't it? Not to do that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So we could then look at how do you create psychological safety? Well, it starts with confidence in yourself, but there's an awful lot underneath that. Mm-hmm. So much to consider. Much to consider. I've just seen we have a comment in from a gentleman in Pakistan, currently working as a database administrator. You're very welcome to join the show. This show is actually for senior leaders and execs, but you're very welcome to listen in. But thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Yes, and good luck.
Good luck with your search. Yeah, you never know, you might find something useful on here too. Right. Now it's time.
Now it's time. Yes.
It's me to run off early. What am I doing?
But yeah, well, because we've done quite a lot on the get hired part and being visible and credible and having
so we need to look at that a bit, right?
And we need to look at stay hired a bit more. So just anyone listening now or during the week on catch up, whatever, send us questions during the week, and then we can look at them next week. If you're in role and you think things are slipping away, or you want to take action before they are, then again, send us questions and thoughts, and we can talk about that next week.
And send us your scenarios. What's happening? I know I speak to a few people who are saying that my voice isn't heard. So how am I supposed to stand out if I'm not being heard? I spoke to a very, very senior person a couple of weeks ago who was being shushed in meetings and didn't know how to raise executive presence. And my face was like, shushed. So, what are you experiencing that's stopping you from being able to shine? Because those things that are stopping you, that you are allowing to stop you, will be your demise as well. So what can we do to help you with that? So yeah, good shout. Not just what's going on in the job search. Have you just got hired? What are you doing? How are you settling in? What concerns have you got there? But those of you that are in role, currently thinking, I need to have a bit more clarity or a bit more impact here. What is it that's getting in your way? So feel free. You might not want to share that live. So do send those thoughts, those scenarios, those questions to us directly, and we will bring them up for you.
Without mentioning your name.
Yes, without mentioning your name. It'll be very, very, but it'll be very helpful to lots of people, I'm sure. Vanessa, good luck this week. To all of you, good luck if you're searching. And to everyone else that's either considering searching or currently enrolled, then glad that you're able to join us, and hopefully we'll see you next week. You're welcome, Malcolm. Have a good week, everybody.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
See you next week. Bye-bye.